Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from this month's sponsor, Ethico.
In the delicate arena of compliance, every conversation matters. Traditional methods can leave callers feeling unheard, but Ethico changes the game. Our empathetic interview technique reshapes compliance calls into powerful, compassionate interactions, ensuring no crucial detail is missed. It's about creating a conversation that matters, that resonates, that makes a difference. Be the change in your compliance approach. See the transformation for yourself at ethico.com/CPN. Book a demo, try our free ROI calculator, and explore the white paper by Tom Fox, The ROI of Compliance.
Welcome to the Daily Compliance News for June 24, 2024, the LinkedIn Lacks Humor edition. And we begin with this story, which is an op-ed piece by Emma Jacobs from the Financial Times, and who sort of goes through the history of LinkedIn, which 5 years ago was fairly straightforward in terms of job hunters, contractors, entrepreneurs, etc. But then during the pandemic, things changed as the division between home and work blurred, and LinkedIn moved from strictly business to personal. And she says that LinkedIn's personality makeover lacks one essential element, and that's humor. So go figure. Next up, from the Wall Street Journal, Risk and Compliance Journal, Richard Vandeford reports that U.S. officials have imposed sanctions on much of the top leadership of the software Kaspersky lab after a recent move to ban its antivirus software, billing the measure or as a response to continued cyber risk. Treasury Department officials placed 12 senior leaders on the sanction list, but for reasons unclear, chose not to sanction the company itself or its chief executive. The action followed an announcement from the Biden administration. It would bar the software company from selling to U.S. businesses or individuals over concerns the firm posed a national security threat. It's the first of its kind imposed by the Commerce Department on a foreign company. Next up from Bloomberg, the news just gets worse for Venezuela as it is about to be put on the gray list sanctions by the Paris-based Financial Action Task Force, which will put the South American country on its list for not making sufficient progress to stem the flow of illicit financials through its country. Really no surprise for anyone who's been watching PDVSA over the past few years. To avoid the designation, a significant majority of FAFT members must agree the country's made significant progress. Well, I don't think Venezuela's made any progress because they don't care. And finally, the trial of 4 members of the UK's richest family has resulted in guilty verdicts, and they will receive prison sentences for exploiting staff brought over from India to work at their Geneva villa. So who thought the days of British exploitation were over? Apparently not. Announcement of the July 4 snap election. So somebody with inside knowledge was betting on the date of the British election. I wonder who that could be. Boy, those Tories will do anything to get money, won't they? And finally, from Bloomberg, a Spanish judge says the bank BBVA should face criminal corporate spying charges as a part of allegations brought forward in Spain. The public prosecutor said the bank itself should stand trial. So banks continue to behave badly. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.